What's going on? I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to go over a hunting mindset and how to prep for a hunt. And this is going to hopefully show you guys something that maybe you didn't think about beforehand, but it's going to be a good way to approach early game hunts and approach late game hunts. So we're just going to go and select a hunt to do. So we'll do something basic. I hope you are here to help. So we're going to go to our optional quests and we're just going to grab a real easy. So we're going to do accept and prep, right? So now we know what we're hunting. We're hunting a Quamatrice. So we're going to go in, we're going to open up. If you go to the right, you have what's called the Monster Field Guide. You can open up your large Monster Field Guide. You can again select that monster. And you can look on the right side of the screen and it's going to give you information on the monster. So to give you base characteristics on the bottom right, and then it'll have some sort of key prompt. For me, it's triangle. Tell me about that monster. So he applies Fire Blight. So now I know, like, I want to run with maybe blight resistance, or I want to run with fire resistance. That's something that might be good against this monster to have. We go and tab over whatever that button for you is. For me, it's the right bumper. We can see that his head is breakable, his neck is a weak point, and his breakable tail or severable there. And then you can also hit that key prompt again. Again, for me, it's triangle. And it'll break down all the different damage types and how effective they are against him. So obviously, his head is pretty much weak to all damage types. And it's extra effective if you have elemental water. So you can tab over again. It'll give you a little bit more information on it. So he's extra affected by poison. He can be slapped. He's extra weak to paralysis. He can actually be hit by blast blight. He can be stunned. He can be exhausted. Sonic bombs don't work on him. So this is just a good overall informational page for you to have. And then it'll give you a little bit more information that tells you, like, okay, if we break his head, we're going to get his crest, and then, you know, other parts that you can get from breaking. And then it'll also give you information on all the ones you've hunted, the size of them, and how many you've hunted at the very last page. Now again, you don't start off 100% with all this information. The more times you face the monster, the more this information builds up. So if you're fighting a completely difficult monster, the more times you come across him and the more things you do to him, the more information you'll have on the right that'll show you how to deal with him even easier than what you're doing right now. So we know he's a fire monster, so we're going to run in, we're going to cook ourselves a meal. Now the primary thing that we would want to do is we want to go, okay, he does fire damage, that's an elemental. Let's maybe increase our elemental resistances, since that might be a thing that affects me a little bit more. We know that he's a big creature with a big sweeping tail, so we'll maybe do the Drool Shroom, because it's going to make it so that we can dodge a little bit more when he swings his tail around. Finishing touches is kind of up to you. There's a couple I would choose pretty commonly. The Wild Herb is a good thing because it means that the various ailments like Blast Blight or Fire Blight are a little bit more difficult to stick to your character, or you can do the Eastern Honey. Both of those should be pretty early items that you can get a hold of. And that just increases the amount you heal when you heal. We'll do the Wild Herb and we'll start cooking. Now, the main reason we're cooking is not necessarily for those skill effects, but if you look on the right, you see we got 50 health and 150 stamina. And that's peak. You're going to have that for 50 minutes. That's going to keep you alive a lot more than any of those skills will. So now we can go, okay, we want to go pre-hunt. So we're going to just go here and we're going to depart and go. And once we get out on the battlefield, that's where things are going to change. So if you have camp set up and you start a hunt, you can go, okay, wait, this monster's way over here. I don't want to run there. I'm going to go over here because it's going to be a lot shorter run for me. So that's first thing first. Try to spread your camps out in such a way that when you go on a hunt, you have a pretty quick route to the monster you're fighting. And then the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to buff up. You can use your radial menu if you have one, or you can go through your items that you have if you want to use it on the bottom right. So we're going to buff up. We'll just take a Might Seed and an Adamant Seed, and now we're going to run over here. So when approaching a hunt, it's always good to kind of start with a sneak attack. The jump attacks don't nearly do as much as the sneak attacks do, so I'm going to run over here. I'm going to sneak attack. Enter my focus mode, which is toggled. And I'm going to start hitting him in the head. Now, wounds are damage-based, and when you're hitting something in the head, or wherever its weak spot is, so see how the numbers were white there? That means that that's doing less damage, because it's not, so we're going to avoid that little cloud that he sent out. We're going to swing into his tail. And wounds will start based on how much damage you do. So if you're doing more damage to a weak spot, obviously the wounds are going to start quicker. So we're going to do that. We're going to go like this. Oh, I dodged the wrong way there. But what we're going to do is we're just going to keep beating on this guy because we want to start a wound. Now, for me, the easiest way to start a wound is if you call your Sacred over, we're going to move a little bit. We're going to let him move. We're going to jump. We're going to hit him in the head. So this is like a meter that builds up, the mounting meter. So we're going to call our Sacred again. We're going to jump over. Now you see the meter filled up. I got him out. Now there's a few different things you can do while you're on him. You can do a heavy, strong attack with the triangle button. You can do quick attacks, or you can use weapon attacks. I usually just use the weapon attacks to do a pop. So we're going to start 3 wounds on this creature. So we got that. So now that I have the 3 wounds, I'm going to pop 1. That's going to activate my Savage Axe. I hate that it puts your weapon away while you do that, but that's just the way it is. We're going to start beating on his head, because his head is the weak spot. And for us, we want to build up as much damage as we can on the head, because we want to get that crest, because that's the good item he has. And you see it's about to have a wound on his face. Go back into that, hit that, and we're going to pop his wound now. If we pop his wound on his head, that's going to make us closer to breaking his head. So it's going to get us closer to that crest. Okay? So now we started another wound on his face, so we're going to just hit that right away. The wounds put them in a little bit of a stagger lock, so it's going to give you a lot of extra ability to just kind of work on... Oh, he's going to run at me, so we're going to roll. And we're going to start beating on his legs, because he only has 2 legs. The game is actually pretty intuitive, or you can at least be pretty intuitive, I guess, with the game, I should say. So if the monster only has 2 legs, so we got a stun there. Well, actually, no, that was just a damage knockdown. That wasn't even a stun. So you'll see that if I keep beating on his head, I'm going to knock him down again. That's a stun. You'll see that because of the stars. So we're just going to keep beating on his head. Doing as much damage as we can, obviously, because we want to break the head. So we still haven't broke the head. We've only got wounds to pop so far. So we're going to actually move a little bit over here. So we broke his tail. So when you get part breaks, you also get, so we're going to move over. So now we got a wound on his leg. I'm going to guarantee that if I pop that, he's probably going to fall over. Because he only has 2 legs. So, you know, use your mind, be intuitive, and think about what you're doing with the monsters. So we got another stagger. And you can pretty much keep these monsters locked down to a point where they're not doing a whole lot of damage to you, or they don't have much opportunities to do that. Now, you keep in mind, like, we haven't done anything, like, trapping-wise. Okay, he's going to do something funky here. Oh, he's trying to run away. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. He's probably going to start running faster than I can stop. Yeah, couldn't get him. Tried to get him. You can interrupt the runaway with a flash. You can interrupt it with a lure pod. I should have probably had those equipped early on. Luckily, he didn't go very far. And you can see on the bottom of the minimap, he's got a skull. So if you wanted to capture him right now and just end the hunt, you could. But it's not really super necessary. So we're just going to keep beating on him. Keep beating on him. All right, we got another wound. Let's try to pop that because it's going to enter a stagger. Oh, he got it. He's a fast boy. He's trying to get away. Put our weapon away. So we're just going to keep him moving around. We're going to keep chasing him. Now, if I wait, I could get another sneak attack. I could pop on. Maybe we'll do that. I can pop on my ghillie. He's going to lose track of me. I can sharpen my weapon while I'm on my Sacred, chasing him down to ensure I'm getting the maximum affinity and damage that I can. And in case you're wondering, affinity is just your crit chance in the game. It doesn't actually state that, but that's what it is. It's your ability to, you know, hit crits and what your chances are and percentages on that. He is just trucking. Let's see if we can't hit him. There we go. So, unfortunately, that made my ghillie useless, but I didn't want him to run for 87 miles here. Yeah, I just decided to take that trade because... Yeah, I got rid of the blast. Oh, is he going to run away again? Oh, what a big one. Oh, he's not. He's fighting the dragon. Okay. So you see I'm doing a lot less damage. That's because my weapon is very mechanically organized. You want to have your files full. That's another big part to doing a good hunt and making things go fast is learn your weapons. The more you know about them, the more you can do. So yeah, easy. Okay. So that was a pretty quick hunt considering, and you might not know this, but this is a high rank creature. Well, I mean, he's a low rank creature too, but this is a high rank version of him. So we still did that hunt in about 6 minutes, which is not very bad at all. We got some items from it. On top of that, this is not a very, if you look at my build, it's not very crazy. Like, I've got evade extender, evade window. Everything else is kind of a 1-star stat on there. I think the best stat I have on here is load shells. So this is a pretty early game build, and I just 6-minute this monster because I prepped for the hunt and I used logic as I was doing it. Like, I know that wounds are damage based, so hit them in the weak spots first, get the wounds to do the weapon, the wound pops. The wound pops kind of put him in stagger locks. The more you do, the more chance he's going to fall over. So just keep that in mind. Ooh, look at this shiny over here. That black guy right there is a rare creature. Nope. Ah, I got him. But if you found this video helpful to kind of help you prepare for hunts, leave a like, subscribe, come back, watch another one.